you start multitasking and you become a jack of all trades and a master of none, and that never works. And my first trade was a winning trade that resulted in 3.61 Bitcoin as a net profit. I also realized that you have to match your trade strategy with your personality, and my personality is not a 1 hour chart personality.
Neither's mine.
Easiest, most difficult career to pursue. You know, the first thing is you need to learn to cry in silence.
There we go. Right, so let's get started. Right, good morning, Conrad. How are you?
Yeah, morning.
Right, I'm Simon. Pleased to meet you. Maybe you could just introduce yourself to the community. Tell us a bit about yourself, where you're living, how long you've been trading, anything of interest, really.
Okay, I'm Conrad Van Rensburg. I'm let's call it a late bloomer. I'm already in my mid-40s.
Husband and a father. That's fine. Younger than me.
So husband and a father of 2 kids, a boy and a girl. Got straight out of varsity, opened up my own company, and spent about 20 years on that, and decided it was time for a change. Started a new career, and in that space, this was around 2019, and as I looked around, I started finding more and more interest in the trading side of things, and systematically started pursuing that a little more and more until I got to where I am now, where I'm alternating between spending half my day trading and half my day on my company.
Great compromise. Yeah, bit of part-time trading, bit of part-time business, keeps everything ticking over, doesn't it? Not too much pressure on one thing or the other. So, okay. So, how do you fit that in with your work? You trade a particular session? Are you a day trader or are you more of a swing trader?
Yes. So, it's and a process in evolution. So every day, every week, you start noticing new things, and you shift a little bit your balance. So the overall goal has always been to shift to full-time trading. So I'm day trading, so it's short-term positions on the 5-minute chart. So the goal is to shift to ultimately be just full-time trading. My company is progressing quite well at the moment, so I'm involved with that on a part-time basis. So I allocate time blocks that I spend dedicated to the activities of my company, and then I will allocate specific time to day trading. So otherwise you start multitasking and you become a jack of all trades and a master of none, and that never works. So at the moment, typically I will have, in the morning, I will be involved with still my own company side, with our time zone being a couple of hours behind Europe. It allows me a bit of space in the morning, and then until when I'm done with that, then I'll shift over and get to DAX. And if it's a little bit later to my liking, I will then use the mid-morning and early afternoon to practice and do markups, and then start with the US session on the Dow.
Oh, okay. So you're a DAX and a DOW trader, mainly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So DAX in the morning and Dow in the afternoon.
Yeah, great combination. Keeps you busy all day, I imagine, if possible. Yeah. Okay. That's good. You find a similarity between the two? I mean, they're both pretty volatile indices, so yeah, I imagine you do.
Yes, in the very short term, there's periods where they correlate. So I won't trade both at the same time. They do react a little bit different. If the market overall, the general market sentiment is heavily bullish or heavily bearish, then they will all move in a very similar trend. DAX, Dow, Nasdaq, FTSE, they all move then in a similar space. When you've got a little bit of indecision, you'll find that Europe moves a little different to the US. But on your big moving days, you'll see the indices all have similar correlations. The margins might just be slightly bigger on some of them than the others.
No, I agree. They're all pretty much led by sentiment on the US market, aren't they? So, Okay, so similar strategy across the two indices, I imagine.
Yes. It's when I started off in 2019. You find what actually happened was we started off in investing quite heavily in a Bitcoin mining facility. So I had a large Bitcoin facility that had about 20 servers, and it was quite a large operation. But it was in that same time when Bitcoin rallied from about $4,000 to about $20,000, and then systematically started collapsing again. And as I'm busy with this, South Africa has some electricity problems as well. So the combination of those two resulted in me looking at alternatives, because we're now heavily involved in and invested in the Bitcoin side. I was looking at what is the option for us to trade in Bitcoin as well, as an addition to supplement the income coming from that. And so I started trading on FundedNext to start off with, and probably the worst thing ever could have happened. I had one of these subscription channels where you get signals from a signal provider. Because
we all know how that ends.
You go about trading in the same way as I would go about running a business. You find competent people and you put them in places about things that you don't know much about. So I figured trading's the same thing. So I did that. And the first trade that I took from this guy was, I was heavily over leveraged. I didn't quite know what I was doing. And my first trade was a winning trade that resulted in 3.61 Bitcoin as a net profit.
That's not bad.
So
that's not bad.
That was quite a lot of money
yes.
in a very quick instance. Pure luck, over leveraged. But the worst thing is that you think, okay, this is easy. And needless to say, this is quite a common story that I gave all of that back over a period of time. Then realized, okay, but listen, I absolutely am fascinated by what's happening, but I don't know what I'm doing. So actually took the family to London for 6 months, did a diploma in financial trading with the London Academy of Trading in London for 6 months.
Right.
And
how did you find that?
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was a complete eye-opening experience. Being in London, actually seeing what it really looks like, and starting to form an understanding of what probabilities look like, starting to put a trade plan together. And then from there, you start playing around with different things. I initially started off on a 1 hour chart with trend following strategies where you simply enter on pullbacks. But you also realize that you have to match your trade strategy with your personality, and my personality is not a 1 hour chart personality.
Neither's mine.
So
I can fully understand.
I got to a point I was saying, no, this is we're gonna kill me with boredom. So you then keep on evolving. You kiss many frogs until you eventually find the princess. Eventually that led me to the Brooks price action programs, and that shifted me now to clean price action trading on the 5-minute charts.
Is that Al Brooks? Yeah.
Al Brooks, yes.
Al Brooks. That's so. If there was one man that you should read his books, it's Al Brooks, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, they're about this thick, but they're great books.
Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. So you've got the video course, and then you've got the books, and the one complement the other. So I'm at the moment working my way through the books again, but I've got them on ebook, and I've got a lot of cycling that I need to do in the gym. So when I'm on the cycle bike, then I've got the iPad with the charts and listening to the ebook, and then you can work it through. So you get about a 45-minute session done every day, and that accumulates. So absolutely love those books, but you need to focus. It's probably the hardest books that I've ever done, and that includes varsity and everything.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It's literally,
but it's definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, the 5-minute chart analysis in those books. I mean, it's just it's fascinating, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we could dive into the strategy slightly, if you don't mind.
Yes, absolutely.
Do Can you share a chart? And
what I will do is, what happens with the whole concept of price action is it sees your whole trading environment in context of what's busy happening. So I start off with a initial set of just the mechanical rules. If price hits the 15 EMA and it does this and this, then you will buy with a stop there. But I found that's the entry level. That's the just getting you started on the concept of rules and strategies and defining an edge. So over time you evolve. So I've put together my own playbook that's got probably about 25 different scenarios, different setups of where I will buy and sell. So for the purpose of this, I just took one example that I really enjoy. All right, if you got my screen here, the trading view screen.
Yeah.
All right, so
DAX, futures DAX.
Yes.
On 5 minute. Yeah.
So with FundedNext, I trade on the MT4 platform. So just for the purposes here, I've marked it up on TradingView. So typically what will happen is, we've got the markets in a bull trend. This is a very nice bull breakout. I've got to talk about a bull spike here. Now we see the buyers is heavily in control. This is heavy buying, and you can expect this to continue. So from here, you've got the initial spike, and now the market starts channeling up. So here you've got your first pullback and resumption, and now you've got your second pullback. And this second pullback, the lows is similar to the lows of the first pullback, but still slightly higher. So in the Al Brooks definition, they talk about a double bottom here, even though it's not completely accurate or not completely exact. But you've got your second pullback, and here you've got now a very strong bull bar that's resuming this trend, and it's on this bull bar that you buy, with your stop below the lows of this initial pullback. Now, in terms of profit targets, you look at a measure move target from your start of this bull spike to this larger pullback. So you look at a leg 1 to leg 2, which will bring you roughly there.
Similar length.
And this will give you, on this particular one, it's a 2.2 to 1 risk reward ratio. Now, obviously, given the preparation for the interview, you take an example that works really well and that looks good. So they don't all look like that, but this is a typical high to buy setup that is probably one of my favorites, especially when you've got the double bottom, or on the bull trend, the double top side. Those have a higher probability of working.
Yeah, sure. No, straightforward breakout bar, and followed by some kind of continuation after a pullback. Cool. Okay. Are you looking for that setup at any particular time of the day, or do you have a favorite window of opportunity?
You look at what occurs. So obviously that's during market hours. Now with futures and everything rolling forward, you can trade pretty much 24 hours a day on these indices. But I restrict it to market open on DAX, from market open to the US session. So I don't move beyond the start of the US session, because then I find that the US inevitably gives the direction in any case, and DAX have a tendency to follow suit. Not always, but and then I'll rather just move over to trade the US session altogether.
Yeah, makes sense. Once New York open, like 9:30 Eastern. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's right. So because the price action with the books, as you have alluded to, is so comprehensive, I put together a playbook for myself that outlines about 20 different plays, and I will mark them, and I will then record them as such, so that okay, this is the type of play, and this is the results you're getting. So at the moment, I'm still in the process of collecting this data, so that you see what happens over a period of time, and within that, I'm also systematically adjusting my risk as I find the emotional side of the risk does have an impact on your trading actually while you're in the moment.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So, okay. So you talk about you talked about risk reward when we were looking at the setup, so like 2 to 1, that kind of thing. Is that pretty much your average?
No, that one actually worked quite nicely. And with all the YouTube gurus, you only pick the ones that looks really good. But under general conditions, anywhere between 1.2 to 1.5 is normal in that space.
Okay. Yeah.
And my win rates, I look at around about a 50% win rate. So because I take quite a lot of trades on a day, roughly, let's call it about 6 trades on average, that still gives me a sufficient reward at the end of the day.
Okay, so we talked about strategies, talked about indices that you trade. How do you find trading with FundedNext? Are you happy with the DAX spreads and the US 30 spreads and the sort of the MT4 platform? Are you happy trading with that?
Absolutely. MT4 is basically, I've started with MT4, so that's all I know. I know a lot of people refer to it as a dinosaur and a relic, but
it's pretty old now. Yeah,
it is. So I haven't really gotten any exposure to any of the other trading platforms, to be honest. So for now it works. I've got a trade copier that I copy trades from. So with MT4, it's quite accurate and simple. And because of the fact that I'm day trading, and you look for 20 points at a time on DAX and probably 40-50 points on DOW, it needs to be quick. So you can't afford delays between your copying, and that has been very, very effective. But the general experience, the trading environment, FundedNext, is very, very accurate for me. I've got my funded account, and then I've got my own capital that I trade as well outside, and periodically I will measure and see where your stops get filled, how much slippage there is, and there's really no difference between FundedNext and one of the other notable brokers that I ever faced. So I'm really, really excited about the trading environment. The spreads has been solid. So there's really, from a trading perspective, there's nothing that I can really comment on. This is accurate, and I'm happy with it.
Great, well, good to hear. You're happy with the payout speeds and just the whole backup and the support system behind it?
Yes, absolutely. I think FundedNext is probably the only one that has got the 24-hour premise that you put in your claims, and like clockwork. I'm always disappointed when I get my money because
that's unusual.
I'm South African, so
you don't expect to get paid.
Yeah, the $1,000, can buy a couple of nice things here. So I'm always disappointed when I just get that rise or wise notification that the money's there. And every time I think, okay, maybe there will be some kind of slip up, but to date I haven't had that yet. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get my $1,000 sometime again. But it has been absolutely fantastic.
It's possible. Oh, good to hear. Okay, well, I'm glad you're happy with FundedNext. That's the idea. So, anything you'd like to see them add, or anything you think's missing from the offering?
Look, I think missing is not accurate. The one thing that I find has got a mental impact, and this is just for me personally, is the 2-week payout cycle. And I know there's been some questionnaires and some research going into it already, that whenever you get your payout every 2 weeks and your account resets to its original balance, which means that you start trading again almost from your baseline, and it does create an emotional discomfort when you start going into drawdown. Whereas if you were building up your account, even that fluctuations still leaves you in the positive.
I understand. Yeah.
Fundamentally, it doesn't come down to anything different. It's the exact same thing, and it's still your money. But the psychological impact, I have noticed that it does play a bit of a part when you view your account, and after a few trades, there is a drawdown on it. Even though it's insignificant, and my risk is very small relative to my account, it still does have a psychological impact.
Yeah,
And
sure, of course.
it would be good for me if I'm able to control that.
Just the option to switch off that payout if you didn't want to take it. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
And with many other prop firms, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving money in the account. You get this surprise email saying that sorry, we've ceased activities. With FundedNext, I'm more than comfortable keeping it there. Your reputation has been stellar, and my experience firsthand seeing that. So I'm more than comfortable leaving my money there and buying myself a bit of a buffer, so to speak. That'll create ease in trading.
No, I understand. No, okay. Maybe there's something I'm sure they're discussing it right now, so maybe there's something that will be offered in the future. So
I have received some surveys on that already. So I think that is something that's in the pipeline already.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Don't want to keep you too much longer. Anything you would like to offer to traders out there who are struggling? Anything? Any sort of tips? Any suggestions that might help them become profitable? I know it's a tough question, and it's different for everybody. I know, but just anything you've experienced, anything you've gained on your travel.
The journey of trading is exceptionally difficult. It's the easiest, most difficult career to pursue. And I think the when you're going through that struggles, there's that big doubt that creeps up in your mind. Can you actually do it? So the first thing is you need to learn to cry in silence, because there will be many of those tearful nights where you lie in bed and you run the day through and you think by yourself, would have, could have, should have, if only. So finding peace in that, saying that, look, that is part of your journey, and making sure that your experience counts for something. So every time it hurts, make that hurt count. So you journal, you say, okay, this is what I've learned, this was stupid, next time I will do this. So that every setback you get a piece of knowledge from that. And so you start building on that, and those hurtful days and hurtful periods become less and less. But you need to learn from your pain. Otherwise, you're just like a donkey running into the same wall over and over again.
Yeah. No, I can resonate with that. Yeah, it's that you got to learn from your mistakes and just take it on there. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Conrad. Good luck with the funded accounts, and good luck with any future evaluations. And we'll speak again, no doubt. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks, Ed. Cheers, Ed.